All right. I've actually been trying to learn this for a minute now because I have a bit of free time. I deal with like dizziness and stuff, and so I gotta take like medicine crap for it. But I've always wanted to learn like coding, and a long time ago I tried to get like into ITT, but I was dealing with a lot and I didn't have a way to get to the school. I got the grants and the loans, but I didn't have a way of getting to and from the school. And so I never got to go down that route. And that was like 15 years ago. And so now I'm trying to see if, I don't know, with some of these free online courses, maybe see if any of these are legit and maybe see if I can actually get somewhere with this. I will say that I already put some work into this. I did begin it. So I do know a little bit. I've dabbled with it. And I've also been working on my typing speed. Um, I can get up to 45 words per minute, but I'm definitely not like 90 words per minute or something. So I've been using my free time to learn this stuff. If anybody knows anything about this stuff, if anybody's interested, I mean, I just figured I'd stream it just in case someone has information. Maybe they could give me like a way to get into that kind of stuff. But this is basically it. I'm just gonna start working on this, see how far I get into it. I already did some of this, but I'm gonna do a quick little review of this part. And I guess see how long this free thing lasts. I know you gotta pay money for like the full course. I don't know exactly um, all that much about it. I was able to use, what was it, Python to create a little like question game or like a rock paper scissors game. But I mean that was a while back. But I'm still trying to learn about it because it interests me.
Variables. Variables are how we store data as our program runs. Up till now, we've been printing data by passing it straight into print. Now, we're going to save the data in variables so we can reuse it and change it before printing it. Creating variables. A variable is just a name that we give to a value. For example, we can make a new variable named myHeight and set its value to 100. Or we can define a variable called myName and set it to the text string lane. We have the freedom to choose any name for our variables, but they should be descriptive and consist of a single token, meaning continuous text with underscores separating the words. Using variables. Once we have a variable, we can access its value by using its name. For example, this will print 100, and this will print lane. Assignment. We need to keep track of our hero's health. On the first line of code, create a new variable named player health and set it equal to 1000.
Oh, but I already did this part, so it's already completed. Yeah, see. Oh yeah, I already did it. So all I had to do was, so it says don't touch below this line, and this hashtag thing is actually for encoding. You can use these to leave comments for other coders, but it won't affect the code. And so that's what this is supposed to mimic. And then from here, this was already here. And all it wanted you to do was find a way to create, well, let's see, it has this question mark. They want you to solve this. This wasn't originally here. I just had to type this here. And in order, when it says print and you put this variable player health, see how highlight and highlights both? Player health is equal to 1000. So when you print that, then it prints what this means, and this means 1000. So, I mean, nothing too crazy. A lot of the stuff's really simple in the beginning. I don't know if it gets more complicating. This whole way through, it's been pretty simple. I've been able to get this, and oh yeah, this one. I think this was the one with the poison.
Variables.
Let me see.
Variables are called variables because they can hold any value and that value can change. It varies. For example, this code prints 20. The line acceleration equals 20 reassigns the value of acceleration to 20. It overwrites.
Okay, so all this is saying is, this works with Python anyways, is once you say a variable equals something different, then it will go based off the last thing you equaled it to. So in the idea that it's trying to use is that, you know, your character gets poisoned, so you lose 100 health every time, and so that's what it wanted to do, was like create this to where it says 900 to 800. It loses 100 each time, but the reality of it is what it's doing is you're changing what the variable means, and instead of putting all of these totals of the variable, it just goes based off of what you set the last variable for, and so it prints all these because, yeah, you have print here, print here, print here. So, I mean, it's not too complicating, really. I mean, I don't know when it starts picking up, but hopefully soon, because I don't want to get too bored with this stuff. It's super interesting. It's not necessarily boring. I just like, I know there's so much to coding, so I'm kind of just like, I feel like I don't know when it becomes overwhelming, I guess. I don't know.
Math. Now that we know how to store and change the value of variables,
This is something else you can do, is like basically using Python as like a calculator. You can add stuff, subtract stuff, multiply stuff, or divide stuff, and it will give you the results. Now, I think later on there's a different way to do this, but see, so you say this variable means 5. That's all we did here was, okay, so it wanted me to do 2. Yeah, multiply it by 2. And it's, okay, so player health, this variable means 1000. Player health is here, and it's here. Armor multiplier, 2. And so the armor multiplier is also here. So what this is doing is this saying armored health, which is a different word. It's only used down here. This variable means this variable times this variable, 1000 times 2. And then when you put print armored health, and you already have equal sign here for that, then it prints that those multiply by each other. So you're replacing these names and meanings with an actual amount or value. I guess it was called variable. I don't know. It's not that complicating. It's pretty not bad. Negative numbers. Negative numbers of Python work the way you probably expect. Just add a minus sign. Yeah. And then yeah, poison damage is -10. And then I did, so the player health plus the poison damage, and then what, that equals 90. Yeah, so that was just teaching you how negatives also work in it. So even if you put a negative, you just got to add them together like you traditionally would in normal math, and you come up with that. And I guess these are ultimately what it like coding looks like in games deeply somewhere. I don't know, because if you go and download Python, you will see that you can see coding for a lot of other things. Like you can pull Python up on like websites and stuff and see the codes on it. It's pretty crazy. Alright, comments don't do anything. Yeah, these are the comments. You put the little hashtag, a single hashtag symbol means, which I don't remember what it used to be called. Everybody calls it hashtag now, but all it does is it leaves a comment so other coders can see it. That's all it's doing. And so that's why this is, oh, I had to fix something. That's right, they had something, the best variable holds the value of the best. I think they were missing something, and it was asking me to correct it. But you can use triple quotes to start and end multi-line comments as well. Code can be found below. Will print hello world to the console. Which I think it would have done that even without. Oh no, that's right. You have to put that. So it's not a variable. It's a comment. It puts the word down. That's what that was. When you put these quotations, it's kind of like, so numbers, you don't have to put those quotations, but for words and letters, you have to put quotations. The doc string, aka doc string, that's what they call it. Man, you can use those in multi-purpose, but it's basically like if you put best sword equals best sword, it'll be a variable equals a variable. That's not what you want. You want this variable equals this word. And so when you put print best sword, if you didn't have this here, it wouldn't print anything. Let's take this away. If you put this and run it, nothing, right? Because there's nothing to print because you just got a variable and you like print the variable, but the variable doesn't equal anything. So that's the problem. So that's why you put the, because even if you put it like this, like, what is it? What was the word again? Samatar, whatever. I can't remember what the word was. Line 1 of the code in the comment. Oh, the code was meant to be in the comment, but the developer. Samatar. I can't remember what the word was supposed to be. Was that it? Okay, so like if you put it here like this without the quotations, then it's a variable equals a variable. And it can't work. Name error name Samatar is not defined. So what you end up having to do is put quotations. It turns it into a word, not a variable, and then it's able to print it. But I don't remember if that was the word they wanted me to put. Fix the bug by commenting out there. Yeah, that's all I had to do is comment out the thing. Whatever, I did it. Okay.
Variable
what's
names.
this one?
Variable names must not have spaces. They're continuous strings of characters. The creator of the Python language himself, Guido van Rossum, implores us to use
uses
snake
this
case
one.
for variable names. What is snake case?
All
It's
lowercase,
just a style
but
for writing variable
underscores, no
names. Here are some
spaces.
examples of different casing styles.
So the way you type variables are typed in a specific way depending on which one you're using. So if you see JavaScript is another one people use a lot, and you have to do a lowercase first and then uppercase on the next two separate words to make one big variable. But then in like some of these other ones, like the C++, I don't even know how you say these, C++ and the C hashtag thing, whatever numbered thing, you'll see they put a capital on all of them. And then this just says, just don't do this. But this one's used in Python. This is the one we're seeing right now with the underscores. Yeah, and it's like, what is the camel case? And camel case is one lowercase, and then the rest are uppercase. So if you have a word called hero health as a variable, you have to have the first lowercase, and health, the second word, would be capital H. None too crazy. It's pretty simple. Okay, Python has several basic data types in programming. Here, I'll let him talk.
Basic variable types. Python has several basic data types. Strings. In programming, snippets of text are called strings. They're lists of characters strung together. We create strings by wrapping the text in single quotes or double quotes. That said, double quotes are preferred. Numbers. Numbers are not surrounded by quotes when they're declared. An integer, or int, is a number without a decimal part. A float is a number with a decimal part. Booleans. A boolean, or bool, is a type that can only have one of two values, true or false. As you may have heard, computers really only use ones and zeros. These ones and zeros are just true-false boolean values. Assignment. Fix the bugs in the code. Player health should be an integer, and player has magic should be a boolean.
Oh no. Oh my god, I'm trying to learn. Okay, so these are a lot of words to try to remember. Strings are when you put a word in quotes and give it a text value instead of a variable. You have numbers. Obviously, we know what numbers are. An integer is a number without a decimal part. So, and then a float is a number with a decimal part. I mean, those are just. I mean, I don't really know the reason why they're called these. I don't know if there is a reason for it, but I think they have to be called that because I'm sure it's like some way the coding works somewhere down the line. And booleans, that is such a weird word, booleans. And but all booleans is like true or false is like this. The way they're putting it right here is a good example. Tall or short. Like character is tall, true. Character is short, false. Which means when you're like choosing a yes or no or a positive or negative, like that's all it is. It's a but you use the values of true or false. So like when I made this one little game, it would be like there was something I had to do where like if this happened, then this is true. If this happened, then this is false. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was like the rock paper scissors thing, or like it was a questionnaire thing. I can't remember. I made something and I had to use those true or false variables where it was used in a different way than this. So you can use these true or false variables to determine, because you can put if this happens, then this is true. If this happens, this is false. So you give it a reaction to something. And then I had to fix the bugs, which all I really had to do with fixing the bugs was just, like, I think there was some quotations in here that were incorrect.
What happened?
No, I'm streaming coding stuff.
Ooh.
I'm doing a full screen, so I don't know if anybody's gonna see
You
it.
found money? Oh, is that your money? Oh,
I feel like it
that's,
helps motivate me.
That's not money. That's glow in the dark rock.
That's what some of the stuff I was using. So on this one, let's see, I had to run it. Oh, this, okay, it identified. Okay, that's what it did. Okay, so I had to make these, because this is something you can do if you're ever concerned with how you type something and you think you might have done it wrong. You can tell it to print, you know, player health is, okay, so this part's just, you know, copy paste. Like whenever you put these in quotes and you put print here, this is copy paste. But you put these in parentheses and then you put, you know, your comma, and then you put type and then player health, this variable right here. And you know, the reason you use this right here, the type and name, is because this displays what variable type it is. And you can use this in normal coding too, especially if you're not sure if you need to correct yourself. And all this did was I had to correct something here just to make these like to where they didn't have errors. It had like some extra stuff on it. I don't remember, but yeah, it said don't touch below this line. So this was already gonna put it correct. All I had to do was run it until this stopped giving me errors, and I had to make sure that this true was typed correctly and put correctly, so that it would say that it's a Boolean, and then I had to make sure this one was correct as just a number where it would say it was integer. I think it had a decimal in it, so it was saying that it was a float before, because like if I put a decimal 1, for example, and then if I do something like this, put some quotes on this or something, then I run it, and see now it says that this is a float and this is a string. But what it was wanting was for me to correct these to show that 1 is an integer and 1 is a Boolean. So not too crazy. If you go back and look back and forth at these, it's not too bad. It's a lot to remember, but like looking at it individually, it's real. It's like really simple one-on-one.
F strings in Python. Have you ever played old school Pokemon and chosen a funny name so that the in-game messages would come out funny? In Python, we can create strings that contain dynamic values with the F string syntax. Add an F to the start of quotes to create an F string. F, this is easy. Use curly brackets, commas, around a variable to interpolate, put its value into the string. Tip, You can also use an F string directly inside a print call. Without assigning it to a variable first, it's just a string. Don't overthink it. Assignment. Fix the bug on line 7. Use an F string to inject the dynamic values into the string. Replace name with the value of the name variable. Replace race with the value of the race variable. Replace age with the value of the age variable. Do not hard code the values into the string. For example, this is not the solution we're looking for, even though it happens to work in this case. We need the player to see their values. Warning, punctuation and capitalization matters. Make sure your output matches the expected output exactly.
Okay, so the reason that this was important, because you could technically, like, you could put it, just print this, and that would be the answer, because when I run this code, that's what it ends up doing. It basically prints that. But what I had to do to correct this to make it, legit to what they're saying, is so the F makes a ongoing string. Like, we can create strings that contain dynamic values. I guess it's this part. Add an F at the start of the quotes to create an F string. F, this is easy. Use curly brackets around a variable to interpolate. Oh my god, that word. Put its value into the string. So when I put this, it creates an ongoing string. Versus just putting the quotes all the way across, but I'm also able to use these to input variables within this string. So when I have my name here, it puts my name URL down here. It's not typing just what I want it to type. Oh, hey, Black Cat dude. What's up? I'm trying to do coding stuff for a bit. I haven't seen you on in a bit. Weren't we playing Rocket League for a while there? I haven't been on Rocket League quite as much. It's been pretty busy. I've been trying to get back on it, but yeah, I've been trying to learn this coding stuff. I've always been interested in this, so I'm trying to take my time to learn a little bit. But like here, if you put this, it'll just print these words, and the only difference that I did from that to here, code. Like this stuff, I just started I started messing with this a little while back, and I made like a little rock paper scissors game in like Python. But oh yeah, I've been trying to learn it. I've always wanted to learn this stuff, and I never had the opportunity. So now I'm I tried to go to ITT when I was like a kid, and I got accepted, and I could go, but I didn't have a way of getting there, so I never was able to do it. Oh yeah, that's awesome, dude. And are you able to do anything with it? Yeah, I'm in like the basics right now. What did you learn it with? Did you learn it with like these random free ones? I don't know the best way to learn this stuff, so I've been using this one. And like I got a little ways in the other day. I started this, but man, I was learning about the variables and the strings and the integers, and then the floats are the ones with the decimals. And then you can put your comments. But yeah, I've only made like 2 things with Python before. It was like a rock paper scissors game, and I did like a number guessing game, or if you guess like a number 1 out of 10, if you got the right number, then it would tell you that you guessed the right number, but the number would always be random. Uh, just make stupid games. I mean, can you really make games with that? I don't even know how you make games. You can't really do it just with Python coding, right? You gotta have like a little more than that to make like little games. I mean, you can make like those, like where I was doing like you type in like rock or paper or scissors or something, but I don't know if like you can make legit games through Python. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works. Obviously, I've barely been touching it, so yeah. non-type variables. See, and I did this the other day, but like I have to refresh myself because I don't want to forget it. But my day's good. I uh I deal with like dizziness stuff, so I got like medicine I gotta take every once in a while. That's why I'm wearing these glasses too, because they kind of help, especially in front of a screen. But I just got free time, so I'm trying to like, I guess, use my time usefully by trying to learn something that I never got to learn before. Yeah, the kids are in school, so I got a little bit of free time, but I still got a 2-year old, so she's like crazy. I'm just, but she got a lot of energy. Oh, non-type variables. Yeah, non means like like a black hole basically. There's just nothing. Well, unless you type it like this, then it makes a string, but none like this means that something's absolutely no value. Yeah, true. Okay, print enemy is none. Oh, why does it say true though? Because I would saying to identify if enemy is none. That's all. So like, let's see. I'll put that. Oh yeah, I think that's all. Yeah, it just. Okay, I get it. Yeah, that just identifies if it's put correctly. Yeah, it's a good day. How have you been, man? It's been a minute. You don't have school or anything? I don't even know what you do, so.
That's not okay. That's their rooms. You have your own stuff, Olivia. I know their stuff seems cool, but you don't take it someone else's stuff.
Non-type quiz. Username none. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's the situation you use it in. Yeah. Because whenever you have like a website or something and you want to start with something that has no value, then you can use none, and then it can be later put as an input with a value. Username equals input. What's your name? And then you, yeah, yep. I remember how that works now. And I guess input is a type of variable. It hasn't said nothing about that yet, but.
You can actually break her into multiple plans. Yeah, your mouse.
Oh yeah, you saw that. I know it's ridiculous. Well, I have 3 screens, and then I have a laptop because I got the laptop first, and then I got a computer, and then I got one screen, and then I got another screen so I could multitask, and then I got a third screen because, well, the big screen I really wanted because it's a curved monitor and it's like ultra wide, and then so that's how I ended up with the ones that I'm having. And then my wife, she has an ultra wide because she was using the laptop, but her vision's really bad. So I got her the bigger screen. And then, well, we got the TV for free because I got a friend that he has knows people that can get stuff for free. So can you ask Mama? You want juice?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. It was definitely, the screens were accumulated over a long period of time. It wasn't like immediately. But I used to work in the oil field too, so I was like, I had like a lot of money when I was in the oil field. So it was kind of just like, I mean, that's when I first got my computer set up. But yeah, I don't have that kind of money now, so I can't work out there anymore the way I am now, unfortunately.
The none type in Python is weird, and discovering it in Python is probably really mind-bending in the same way that discovering the concept of zero would have been mind-bending to the ancient Sumerians. Let's
Yeah, because 0 has actual value and none has no value whatsoever. And that's why it's like, why might you use it as the default that would be replaced later to create bugs? I don't think anybody wants to do that intentionally, but I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it could create bugs, but to cause additional pain and suffering for your coworkers, because you need a string with the text none. Well, see, if you need a string with the text none, then you would put the quotations, but that's not what that is. That would be a string, so it'd be a different thing. But anyways, on to the next one. Okay, so now I'm dabbling in the stuff that I haven't touched yet. So I don't exactly. Oh wait, is this the one? Python is dynamic typing, which means variables can store any type, and type can change. Yeah, I think it was like when you put a variable and then, which doesn't work for other programs, but for Python it works. Or with like other programs, it'll mess up and you have to fix it. But for Python, you can change it. So like you can put speed has a variable of 5, or you can put the speed variable afterwards has the string of 5, and it can change. So it won't be conflicting of itself, but it'll just change it. But then, well, yeah, they put this because you don't want to. You want to keep them separate, but all that jazz is a lot of lots. Let's see.
Types are a really hot topic in coding right now. The debate rages at all times on tech Twitter about whether dynamic or static types are superior. So, what's the difference? Well, in a dynamically typed language like Python, we can create a new variable, let's call it x, set it equal to 42. On the very next line, we can set it equal to the string 60-9, and nothing happens. There's no problem with this. We've changed the type of x from an integer to a string, and the Python interpreter just doesn't care. Now, most scripting languages, Python, JavaScript, Ruby, PHP, they're all dynamically typed. And one of the big benefits, especially when you're just getting started learning to code, is that you don't need to write as much code. You don't need to specify your types all throughout your code base, which allows you to move faster and kind of focus on the conceptual stuff that you're trying to learn and that you're trying to build, rather than getting too into the weeds with all the technical details and implementations. Now, in a statically typed language, the types of every variable must be known before the code runs, which means you can't just change the type of a variable at runtime. For example, in Go, we can't just create a variable named x, set it equal to 42, and then change it to a string in the very next line. The Go compiler will yell at us and tell us that we're breaking the rules. Go, along with other statically typed languages like TypeScript, C, Rust, they don't allow us to just change the types of variables at runtime. And one of the great things about this is it stops us from writing really easy to write kind of careless bugs into our code, because frankly, even in a dynamic programming language, you basically never want to change the type of a variable. It's super rare. You usually want to change the value within a type set. If you need a new type, you typically just create a new variable. So which is better? Well, if you had asked me 10 years ago, I probably would have said that my understanding is that there's a fairly balanced trade-off, that dynamically typed languages might be a little less safe in production, a little more error-prone, but you can move faster and write code more quickly and ship things. But I think it's become a lot less balanced over time. I actually think that, especially nowadays, it's actually not only safer to write within a statically typed language, but it's also easier to ship code quickly. And part of the reason for that is how much better the tooling and the type inference in particular has gotten. Types used to be a fairly verbose thing. So take the C language, for example. You have to write int x equals 42 semicolon if you wanted to declare a new integer. In a language like Go or TypeScript, you write the variable declaration the same way that you normally would. Right? X colon equals 5, or let x equal 5. And the TypeScript compiler and the Go compiler, they can infer that this is an integer without you having to explicitly tell it that it's an integer. So writing an integer in Go or TypeScript is just as simple or just as easy as it is in JavaScript or Python. So you might be wondering, well, if static typing's so great, why does anyone write Python? Why are you teaching Python? And why is Python one of the fastest growing programming languages even in 2024? Well, while it is dynamically typed, and that's not my favorite feature of the language, it's still an amazing language, especially for learning foundational coding concepts in. It really reads like plain English and allows you to focus on what you're trying to learn. Again, conceptually, what is a loop? What is a class? What is object-oriented programming, functional programming?
Yeah, I bet it
How
does.
do these data structures work?
That's what I'm thinking. The further deeper I go, the more complicating it gets, because it's trying to start things off, especially with like using one of these things. It's probably trying to start it off to where it doesn't scare you, but
Rather than focusing on all of the syntax and type safety,
I get what
and other
he's
stuff,
saying. But like, is changing a good idea? Well, I guess not, because it gives you the ability to have errors. But then I think some people would say yes, because I mean, you have a little more free options.
that comes along
I mean, you
with some
can
of the
do
other
more
languages.
with it, I
But
guess.
Python isn't
I
just a
don't
learning
know.
tool. Like I said, it is one of the fastest growing programming languages.
I'm gonna say yes and see what it says. Nope. I was gonna put no. Oh, it's no. No surprise. Well, really complicating. Yeah, I guess I'll find out. I mean, it's only one way to find out. I don't know. I'm just doing the free training thing. I don't even know how deep this one goes. So, I mean, I'll see. I mean, people use this for like everything, like websites and all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, if you can create anything with all this coding and like Python stuff, then I would imagine that it'd have to get far more complicating than it's been so far. So, I don't know how many different types of stuff there are, but yeah. It's like super interesting. I love problem solving and stuff, so.
Dynamic typing. Python is dynamically typed, which means a variable can store any type, and that type can change. For example, if I make a number variable,
What kind of
I
type
can
is-
later change that variable to a string, but like maybe don't. In almost all circumstances, it's a bad idea to
Okay. Alright.
math with
That's the
strings. When working with strings, the plus operator performs a concatenation, which is a fancy word that means joining two strings. Generally speaking, it's better to use string interpolation with F strings over plus concatenation. Full name now holds the value Lane Wagner. Notice the extra space at the end of Lane in the first name variable. That extra space is there to separate the words in the final result. Lane Wagner. Assignment. We have a second player in our game. We need to tell each of our players how much health they have left. Edit line 9 to print player 1's health. You have 1200 health using string concatenation and the variables provided. Edit line 10 to print player 2's health. You have 1100 health in the same way. Warning, only print you have X health once for each player, nothing else.
Okay. Sentence start you have. Oh, does it wants me to add them together, so like players, yeah, so player 1's health. Okay, I see what it's saying. So it wants me to do like sentence start plus, I don't know if I'm supposed to use a space, and then player health, yep, and then plus, no, see, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to do the space, I think, I don't know. sentence end. Start plus player health plus sentence end. And that should be it. Yeah, I think I did it alright. Hey, that was easy. That's not bad. But like, I think you can also use the F string for this too. So like, if I didn't want to do it with these variables like this, then I could have done F integer, however you say that, the F strings, where I put an F, and then I could have put you have, and then put player health, and then put health at the end. And then that would have worked too. But yeah. I see. Okay, we can save space when creating.
Multivariable declaration. We can save space when creating many new variables by declaring them on the same line, which is the same as any number of variables can be declared on the same line, and variables declared on the same line should be related to one another in some way, so that the code remains easy to understand. We call code that's easy to understand clean code.
Multivariable declarations. Creating many new variables. What? So you can put a bunch of variables, put the commas to separate the variables, then equals, and then you can put what you want for each variable in a row. And it's okay. Wow, that's interesting. Then, how many variables can be declared on the same line? Well, that looks like 3. Is there a limit? Any number of variables in the yeah. So there is no limit. Oh, that's interesting. What is clean code? Code that runs quickly. Code that is easy for developers to read and understand. Yeah, I heard that one. Alright. Boots.
Boots. You may have already figured this out by now, but below the lesson explanation, or in the Boots tab on mobile, there's an adorable bear wizard named Boots. His job is to help you if you get stuck. Here's how. Boots is an AI chatbot, like ChatGPT, that has access to your lesson. When you ask him a question, he already knows the official solution, what you've been asked to do, changes you've made to the code. He's been trained not to give you the answer, but instead to use the Socratic method to nudge you in the right direction. Starting a conversation with Boots before you've completed a lesson costs a baked salmon. He's a hungry guy. Or if you don't have one, 50% of the XP for the lesson. Chatting with Boots after you've completed a lesson is free and encouraged for deepening your understanding. Assignment. Fantasy Quest's dialogue messages are all jumbled up. Fix it. Run the code, don't submit the code. Notice that nothing prints to the console. Ask Boots why nothing is printing. You'll need to pay up. Just do it. Use Boots to figure out what's wrong. Then fix the code and submit it. Your code should produce the following output. Warning, print the string variables given to you. Don't just retype all the text.
Alright. So I'll run it. Notice nothing's working. And then ask Boo. Okay. Why is nothing printing? You'll have to pay up. Confirm. I can see your code. You've only created variables like quest start and quest middle. In Python, just creating variables doesn't make anything show up on the console. What kind of statement do you usually need in Python to actually display text on a screen? Once you remember that, how could you use it with these variables so that the lines, the three loud dialogue? Oh, okay, so what it wants me to don't touch above this line. Because it wants me to print.
Fucking dude writes back, the one that has ambulance. He goes, you seem like a Jetta driver. Or he goes, you seem like a Jetta type of
Quest start plus quest middle plus quest and plus
I guess kids got better, but back in the day they were trash.
quest objective.
He just on there talking shit. It's funny. See, that kind of talking shit is
Either
not like
adventure
you're just like, I don't want someone to talk
or
shit with today. I choose you, Pikachu.
why do you need the space? Is it
Oh my gosh, you are ridiculous. That would be funny. That would definitely be funny. Stop.
is that what it's asking for? Just keep spaces in it.
I'll alert the media.
Mmm. Oh yeah, I was gonna do that.
Spellbook. As you progress through boot.dev, you might find yourself wanting to take notes, review concepts you already learned, see more examples of a concept, see an example of some syntax you already learned. Your spellbook solves these problems. It's a searchable cheat sheet of everything you've learned on boot.dev. As you complete lessons, you'll automatically unlock new pages in your spellbook that can be searched at any time. So, if you know what you're looking for, use your spellbook before chatting with Boots, because using the spellbook costs no items or XP. Assignment. Competitive Fantasy Quest players, Balance Ballers, have won all their games in the elimination round of the tournament. They're now in the finals. Calculate the average score of their 4 games and store it in the average score variable. The average, or mean, is calculated by adding up all the numbers and dividing by how many numbers there are. Which means first we need to add up all the scores, then divide by 4. Let's use our spellbook to recall the syntax we need. Find and open the spellbook. Look at the bottom right of the lesson text. You'll see a toggle to switch from Boots to your spellbook. Flip the switch to open your spellbook. On mobile, it's the last tab at the top of the screen. Search for the concept you'll need for this lesson. Try Python Math. Complete the lesson using your spellbook as a reference.
Okay, don't touch above this or below this. So all I gotta do is adjust this average score equals, and I guess I probably gotta put all of those. Let's see. Yeah, average equals plus, yep. So I gotta do that. So put in parentheses and we got game 2 score plus game 3 score plus 4 score. Okay, so add all those and then should divide it by 4. And that should be it. Average is 100. I got it. Not bad. Pretty easy. Alright.
Character report. One of our interns built a program that prints information about Fantasy Quest characters. It's almost done, but there are still a few bugs. Assignment: fix the bugs to get the character report working. Run the code to see it fail. Fix the syntax so that each variable is the data type you'd expect. Name, string. Level, integer. Character class, string.
Yeah, let's see the type.
Magic resistance, float. Keep it equal to 15, but change it to a float. Account active, boolean. Do not change the values themselves, only the syntax around them to change their data type. Tips. You need to use the correct type-specific syntax for the variables. Here are some examples. Type rule, example. String, double quotes. Hello. Integer, whole number, 42. Float, use a decimal, 2.0. Boolean, true or false. True.
Yep, okay. So I needed to show that the name is a string. Okay, so hold on. I can't edit below this line, but print name is a level character class. Level 24. So I have it. The fix has to be up here. The name needs to be a string. So what is? Or oh, they got it set up to where magic resistance. Name type, level type. I'm kind of name Windrunner is not defined. String line 3. Windrunner. Character class. Okay, character report. Lupin is a level 25 Windrunner. They have 15 magic resistance. Their account is currently active. True. Okay. Wait. Data types. Name is a string. Level is a string. They want that to be integer. Okay. There, integer. Character class is a string. Magic resistance. Float. Keep it equal to 15, but change it to a float. Okay. Account active. It needs to be Boolean. Oh. I'm gonna change these because everything I should get used to using double colons, not the singles. Alright, Boolean. Got it. That's not bad. Looks like a lot, but that wasn't bad. Dude, I don't know. I've actually seen the stuff for that, like the little apps for it, and I was thinking about messing with it, but I'm like, dude, there's no way that sounds like difficult. Like trying to do it on phone, like that sounds terrible. I don't know. I mean, maybe it works. I don't know. I was curious about trying that out on my phone though. That sounds awful. Cause like when I type on my phone, I don't do the quick typing. I do like the the drag stuff where you start with the first letter and then drag across all the other letters, and then when you let go, it determines which word you're trying to put. So I don't type anything. I just drag it across. And I mean, obviously that wouldn't work for this. So then I'd have to go back to learning how to type like the single like digits every time. Yeah, this would be a lot of work on a phone. I would hate doing this on a phone.
Functions. Functions allow us to reuse and organize code. For example, say we have some code that calculates the area of a circle. That works. The problem is when we want to calculate the area of other circles, each with its own radius.
I don't know. A madman,
just
obviously.
copy the code and
I don't know.
change the
Someone that doesn't have a
variables like
computer,
this.
honestly.
But we want to reuse our code. Why would we want to redo our work? What if we wanted to calculate the area of thousands of circles? That's where functions help. Instead, we can define a new function called area of circle using the def keyword. Let's break this area of circle function down. It takes one input, aka parameter or argument, called r. After the colon, the indented lines form the function body. This is the code block that will run each time we use, aka call, the function. It returns a single value, the output of the function. In this case, it's the value stored in the result variable. To call this function, fancy programmer speak for use this function, we can pass in any number as the argument. In this case, 5, for the parameter r, and capture the output into a new variable. 5 goes in as the input r. The body of the function runs, which stores 78.5 in the result variable within the function body. The function
Wait, hold up. So, instead of doing this separately every time, you're able to copy this to where it does 314 results is pi, which is that, times r, which is area of circle, times r. Oh, this is 2. It's pi r squared. That makes sense. And then return results. And then so it saves this problem within the, so you use this to save this problem, so that all you have to do is put area of circle, and then within the r, because you're not putting def anymore, you can put the area of circle and then put 5 in there, and then put print area, because the area equals area of circle times 5. Or I guess it wouldn't be 5, but like that's just the way that coding's put up. And then it would put 5 into what r equals. That's crazy. It takes one input, aka parameter or argument called r. Okay. After that, the indented lines form the function body. This is the code block that will run each time we use aka call the function. It returns a single value, return result, the output of the function. In this case, is the value stored in the result variable.
Returns the result variable, which means the area of circle 5 expression evaluates to 78.5. 78.5 is stored in the area variable and then printed. Because we've already defined the function, now we can use it as many times as we want with different inputs. Assignment. We need to calculate the size of a weapon's attack area. With a 1.0 meter sword, for example, a player can attack in an area of 3.14 square meters around them. You can use the area of circle function to do that calculation. Fix the bug on line 13 by calling the area of circle function with the spear length as input, and store the result in the spear area variable.
Holy crap. Yeah, it's getting a little more complicated now. I want to see what it does when I run it. Okay, so it just puts sword length 1 meter, sword attack area 314, sword spear length 2 meters, spear attack area 0 square meters. So this is the problem. Alright, so don't touch below this, don't touch above this. Okay, so they already created it. So all I, oh, well, this is easy. All I need is area circle. And then spear length. Oh, yep, because okay, that's, oh, I still totally see what it's doing now. So you got this as 1, and then that'll multiply it, but that'll create a area, because it's radius times 2 times pi. I mean, not times 2, but it's pi r squared. And then it also does the same thing for this one by dragging it down. Instead of what they did over here, they put the number here, but instead I was able to do it here by putting sword area equals area of circle, which is this, and then I put this inside of it instead of a number, which means that, oh my god, this is wild. And then obviously the print. I still don't know what's the point in F string if you can do stuff like this. I guess it's just like a different way to do it. Okay.
Functions are the building blocks of real-world applications. They make it so we can reuse the code that we write, and they help us organize our code into smaller pieces so that it's all easier to keep track of. Let's take a look at this example, a function that calculates the area of a circle. It takes the radius of a circle as input, in meters, we'll be using the metric system for this example, and when it's done, it will return the area of the circle, in meters squared. Here's the code that defines the area of circle function. If all we do is define the function, it won't actually do anything. We have to call the function in order for it to execute. Let's call it with a radius of 5 as the input. Now, when the function is called, execution jumps back to the function definition. A new variable that's only available inside the function, called pi, is created with a value of 3.14. Next, we save the result of pi times r to a new variable called result. The area of a circle is pi r squared after all. Finally, we return the result from the function as its output. Execution jumps back to the function call at this point, and we capture the return value in a new variable called area. And if we want to, we can just print it. The best part is that we can then call it again with a different input, getting the associated output, and we can do it again and again and again as many times as we want.
Let's break down this function line by line so you can understand. Cranionics, okay. Radius 5, radius 0, radius 0. Which happens first? Well, the function is defined. Yeah, probably that one. Yeah. It's defined, but it's not, nothing's in use. Wait, what happened here? Was I supposed to answer a question? the little yellow thing for it. I saw the yellow thing was missing.
Functions are the building blocks of real-world applications. They make it so we can reuse the code that we write, and they help us organize our code into smaller pieces so that it's all easier to keep track of. Let's take a look at this example, a function that calculates the area of a circle. It takes the radius of a circle as input, in meters, we'll be using the metric system for this example, and when it's done, it will return the area of the circle in meters squared. Here's the code that defines the area of circle function. If all we do is define the function, it won't actually do anything. We have to call the function in order for it to execute.
I was just asking another question. Why is the variable called radius outside the function, but r inside the function? Let's take a look. And because inside the function, r just means this. And r is replaced with the 5. Radius is a different variable. The variable r is not the same variable as radius. Because this program is needlessly hard and makes me want to cry sometimes. I swear. Because only the value of the variable is passed to the function. It is then assigned to a new variable called r. Wait, what? Because only the value of the variable is passed to the function. My brain tickles. Because all variables are called r inside the function. Because all variables are automatically shortened to one letter inside the function. I think it's because only the value of the variable is passed to the function, and it is then assigned to a new variable called r. I think that's right one. Yeah. Okay.
Multiple parameters. Functions can have multiple parameters. Parameter being a fancy word for input. For example, this subtract function accepts 2 parameters, a and b. It's the argument's position that determines which parameter receives it, at least for now. The first argument goes to the first parameter, the second to the second, and so on. In this example, the subtract function is called with a, 5, and b, 3. Here's an example with 4 parameters. It can be called like this, assignment. We need to calculate the total damage from a combo of 3 attacks. Complete the triple attack function by returning the sum of its parameters, damage 1, damage 2, and damage 3. Remember to indent the code inside the function. Warning, the pass statement is a placeholder that does nothing. Replace it with your code. Tip, the attack damage values, attack 1 to attack 6, are already passed to the 2 triple attack function calls for you. You only need to reference them by their new damage parameter names. Damage 1, damage 2, and damage 3.
Okay, so multiple parameters functions can be accepts 2 parameters a and b. Okay. It's the argument's position that determines which parameter receives it, at least for now. The first argument goes to the first parameter, the second to the second, so on. A equals 5 and B equals 3, so result equals subtract and then 5 and then 3. So it'll be 5 take away 3, return result, print result 2. Okay. Here's an example with 4 parameters. Oh, create introduction, name, age, height, weight. First part, your name is plus name, and you are plus age, years old. second part you are the height. Okay, return full intro. Then full intro equals first part plus space plus second part. Huh? Oh, it's whatever, man. I appreciate it, but I know I'm just kind of just trying to learn stuff right now, so it's no big deal. I know I'm not being like super talkative or nothing. It can be called like this. My name, John. My age. This is a lot. Somehow this is entertaining. Yeah, this part's crazy though. This definitely took some steps up recently right here. I'm like, geez. My name equals John. My age equals 30. Intro. Create introductions. Okay, so they pulled this. Okay, so create introduction. My name. My age. Okay, so you pull this, and then when you put these in parentheses, these are giving these definitions. So, oh my god, I see how this is. This is like a trail of stuff. Like, so you put in John, and that creates the variable my name, and then the variable my name gets entered into this variable, which gets entered into this variable. So now it's saying you're printing your name is John, and you are age variable, trace the age variable back to this one, to my age, and then my age is 30. Oh my god. I'm just like, this is so much. And then, okay, so you created these in strings. So these are integers. So it's just a string. So it's the 1.8. And then that goes into your height. And then height is here. So you are 1.8. Which they actually could have done this the same way too. Like if they wanted to, they could have put, I'm surprised they didn't do that actually. Was they could have done the same thing, like my height, but they just put the actual number here. But whatever. Yeah. Your name is John. You were 30 years old. And you were okay. I need to calculate the total damage from a combo of 3 attacks. Complete the triple attack function by returning the sum of its parameters. Damage 1, 2, 3. Remember the indent, the code inside the function. Okay, I'm gonna run it and see what happens. Getting damage for 2, 4, and 3. Name points of damage dealt. Getting damage for -1, 10, and 5. None points of damage dealt. That's weird. Okay. Okay. So, don't touch below this line. This is the first triple attack. This is the second triple attack. Wait, so there's complete the triple attack function. Okay. Okay, so there's 2 triple attacks. Okay. Oh, man, this looks crazy. Alright. So, define. Oh, but I gotta create the. Why does it say pass? It's supposed to put return, right? Return. Okay. Okay, so attack 1's 2, attacks 2, 4, attacks 3, 3. First triple attack damage. Triple attack equals triple attack. So I need to put it to where these, yeah, these all have to add up. Okay, is that all I have to do? Attack 4, 5, 6. Dude, I think that's all I gotta do. That sounds super easy. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I need to do results. Wait. 2, 4. Attack 4, 5. Hold on. Because you're adding them together, but it's also saying get damage for attack 4, 5, and 6. Second triple attack damage. Let's see what this does. I think this is what they're trying to get me to do. So I need to put the results are equal to damage 1 plus damage 2. Oh my God. 2, 3. Right, and then I need to return results. I think that's what it's. Hold on, let me try it. Oh, I think that works. Getting damage for 2, 4, and 3. 9 points of damage dealt. Getting damage for 14 points. Yeah. That's all I had to do is add it together. That was kind of easier than I thought. Huh. I thought it was going to be harder than that. It looked hard because there's so many words and letters there. I'm like, Jesus, that looked way more difficult than it really was. Okay.
Printing versus returning. Some new developers get hung up on the difference between print and return. It can be particularly confusing when the test suite we provide simply prints the output of your functions to the console. It makes it seem like print and return are interchangeable, but they are not. Print is a function that 1. Prints a value to the console. 2. Does not return a value. Return is a keyword that 1. Ends the current function's execution. 2. Provides a value or values back to the caller of the function. 3. Does not print anything to the console, unless the return value is later print-edited. Printing to debug your code. Printing values and running your code is a great way to debug your code. You can see what values are stored in various variables, find your mistakes, and fix them. Add print statements and run your code as you go. It's a great habit to get into to make sure that each line you write is doing what you expect it to do. In the real world, it's rare to leave print statements in your code when you're done debugging. Similarly, you need to remember to remove any print statements from your code before submitting your work here on boot.dev, because it will interfere with the tests. Assignment. There's a problem in the getTitle function. It's supposed to construct the title value and return it to the caller. Instead, it's barbarically printing the value to the console. Fix the getTitle function. 1. Return the title. 2. Do not print it to the console.
Oh my God, it's Lord of the Rings. I swear to God. Okay, I see this. They put print for this when you're supposed to put return. So what does this interfere with? So the titles, the names, okay, blah, blah. And then you have Frodo, Baggins, Bilbo Baggins, test. Okay, so this is the test right here. And then these are print too. Okay. So I think all it's saying is put this as a return instead of print. But what does it do differently? Save Gandalf, because it would. Tell his first name plus Frodo Baggins the warrior. Hold on, let's see how this does it differently then. I'm curious. Return. Oh shit. Oh, it did turn out differently. Because now it just says first name Frodo, last name Baggy-out. Instead of having the whole thing printed out. Yeah, that was different. Hold on. I want to re-see that again. Print. Okay, so when you have it on print, oh, it puts everything. Even title is none. Which, how did that happen? Just because it's printing this string. And so it's printing this. Oh, and because this also says print, that's also printing. That's what's going on. So instead of doing a return where it takes all this back, that makes sense now. Okay, I got it. I got it. I see what they're doing now. Because it gives it a single value. Yep. Just like that. So it's cleaner. Doesn't do a bunch of extra. That shit's wild. Dude, this is I got a little bit of brain damage and I get dizzy sometimes, so I definitely like I have to like lock in when I'm thinking. It's pretty difficult. My brain will just start fogging up and I'm just like, all right, concentrate on this. Don't lose it, you know. I'm sitting there like thinking about this part and then that part and then that part, and I'm just like, no, don't start veering off. I'm like trying to grab the whole thing. So I don't even know how to explain it. That's the best way to explain it. You probably noticed that a variable needs to be declared before. Oh, here.
Where to declare functions? You've probably noticed that a variable needs to be declared before it's used. For example, the following doesn't work. It needs to be code executes in order from top to bottom. So a variable needs to be created before it can be used.
Yeah, defined.
That means that if you define a function, you can't call that function until after it has been defined.
Makes sense.
Assignment. There's a bug. It looks like we are trying to call a function before it was defined. Run the code and read the printed error. Then fix it. You don't need to add any new functions or pass any inputs. Calling a function with empty parentheses is perfectly valid. Pay attention to where main is being called.
Was this supposed to be on the bottom? I was going to call it a file string. Is it talking about this string or that string? Line 1 in module, okay. Main is not defined. Did you mean min? Yeah, so I think all it's saying is this isn't supposed to be here. It's supposed to be like, oh, wait, what the heck? Oh, crap. Yeah. Oh, easy. Got it. Order of functions.
Order of functions. All functions must be defined before they're used. You might think this would make structuring Python code hard, because the order of the functions needs to be just right. As it turns out, there's a simple trick that makes it super easy. Most Python developers solve this problem by defining all the functions in their program first. Then they call an entry point function last. That way, all of the functions have been read by the Python interpreter before the first one is called. Conventionally, this entry point function is usually called main to keep things simple and consistent.
Yeah, I noticed that main thing, but functions must be defined before they can be called. That's pretty simple. What is the best practice to make sure you don't define functions out of order? Create an entry point function, usually called main, and call it at the end of the file. Create a function called main. Python will always call it first. Create a function called main and call it at the beginning of the file. Create a function called entry points. Python will always call it first. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of confused on that one. You might think this, okay, conventionally, this entry point function is usually called main to keep things simple and consistent. So, I mean, it's saying entry point, right? What is it?
Eat. This is right here.
First.
Right here.
Solve the problem defining all the functions in their program first. Then they call an entry point function last. And the entry point function is main. So entry point function is a real what it's called, but that way all the functions. So create a function called main. Python will always call it first. Create an entry point function, usually called main, and call it at the end of the file. I think that's right. Yeah. Oof. I did it. What is it?
Shoes.
Shoes?
This is right here.
Your shoes at the front.
This is right here.
You need your shoes?
Juice.
Juice?
Yes.
More juice?
Yeah.
Are you serious? You want so much juice. Okay, let's get your bottle.
She got snacks and food and everything. She ain't eating none of it.
All predators, all hunting the same prey, but all with totally different origins. There are more than 10 billion species of plant and animals alive today. And yet, they are just 1% of all species that have ever existed. By traveling back in time, we'll meet many of the 99% that have gone extinct.
I made the fruit snacks. She had one bite of the grapes. The grapes are super
To
sour.
reveal the most extraordinary story of all,
Yours is super rough.
the story of life
Try to eat some more.
on our planet.
She was like, it's like, and I saw the green in her mouth. I was like, is it the grapes? She's like, yeah. She spit it out. She's like, yeah. And she wanted a sandwich.
I already gave her a sandwich.
Peanut butter jelly.
I already gave her one.
Life, with all its incredible variety, had to start somewhere. The frontier for
What is it? Mommy's watching a movie. You gonna watch a movie?
our planet had just the right conditions.
Stop.
Energy from the sun,
Hey, come here.
chemistry, like today.
You gonna sit down with mommy?
The exact process is lost in the mists of time.
She keeps fucking me.
But what it produced
What? movie?
No.
Fucking quiet. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see.
Community. Getting help is a critical part of learning to code, and even in your day-to-day working as a developer. Boots and your spellbook are great first lines of defense, but sometimes you just need a human. Luckily, we have an amazing Discord community, full of developers and fellow students ready to help you out. So, assignment. Enough Discord talk, back to writing code. In Fantasy Quest, characters lose health due to heat exhaustion. The game tracks the temperature in freedom units, Fahrenheit, but we need to display the temperature in Celsius for players outside the US. Here's the formula to calculate the temperature in Celsius from Fahrenheit, F. Complete the 2 Celsius function body. It should return the temperature in Celsius for a given Fahrenheit temperature, F parameter.
I swear, they didn't even. He totally skipped over this part. Click the community tab. Do I have to do that? Where's the community tab? I don't even know where the community tab is. I don't even see it. You talking about this one? No. I don't see a community tab. Do I have to join them to serve to see your account? Was your account linked up? You'll be able to chat with other learners, mentors, as well as use help forums to ask questions. And also, if you help others in the Discord, you'll get karma, which will help you earn fellowship. Oh. Yo, I don't see the... Oh, community. Community. Discord. We need to verify your account. It's asking so much.
Get it.
Okay. Stop. What?
I say,
You're gonna get hurt if you don't stop.
I said that.
Be nice.
I said this.
Okay. So,
Oh, this is Mama. Mama.
you need to verify your account. Oh crap, what account was I even using? Oh, my Google account. Okay, hold on. Why? Okay. What is this thing called? Boot.dev.
I told you to. Get off. Don't get off.
Okay. I need to verify my account. Oh my god. Then get down. You can get down. Do you want down? How do I verify my account? Ooh, Jesus. Olivia. Is that what it wants? For me to pay for it? Let's see. This is a lot. 2s and 1 8.
I found it.
Ugh.
Okay.
What? None of this is working.
House. Okay. Okay.
Rate limited? Oh my god. I can't. I don't think it's gonna work. Okay, screw it. I guess it's not that important. Hopefully it's not. Because I can't. It's not syncing. I don't know. For some reason.
Until eventually, the one will be so different to its predecessors.
Unless there's another way to do it. I don't even remember how to use Discord. Let's see. There's a way to add server. Join a server. And what is their server?
Ouch.
Stop, Olivia. Be nice. All channels you need to sync. No, I'm trying to, but it won't let me. Need to verify your account. What? I need to verify my Discord account? This is so confusing. And did I never verify my Discord account? Your head? I think I already did. Well, I got it on Discord, so whatever. Somehow. I don't know how I'm supposed to link it, but... Screw it, whatever. Okay, let's go back. Continue learning. Oh, where were we at? Okay, so now I need... Don't know what's the point of having the Discord, I swear. Okay, enough Discord talk, back to writing code in Fantasy Quest. Characters lose health due to heat exhaustion. The game tracks the temperature of freedom units Fahrenheit, but we need to display the temperature in Celsius for players outside the US. Here's the formula to calculate temperature in Celsius from Fahrenheit. Okay, complete the 2 Celsius function body. Olivia. No, you can't have that. No, ma'am. No. No, that's not yours. No. 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 Oh my god. This is making it impossible. Stop. watching a movie.
No, no.
Mommy's watching a movie.
No, no, no.
Oh my god.
No,
Do you want to sit? Oh my god. What? No. You can go play with toys, or you can watch a movie. No. Not right now. Stop. Olivia. Stop. Oh no. What is that? What is that? Is that from your lemonade?
Yes.
Is the lid not closed all the way?
Lemonade.
Dude, for real, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do this. God. I try to like make my time efficiently, but I don't really. It's so hard. It's so hard. Please. I'm trying to actually learn something.
Accessing the other's strength. While showing off their own. Their coordinated moves, their formal evidence.
Alright. Oh, they got a movie going on in there. She's gonna try to distract her. Okay, so you got the formula for 2 Celsius. I have to switch that from Fahrenheit. Okay, so definition to Celsius. Okay, I see. So I noticed they keep putting the passcode here. Yeah, seriously, it's just so hard. It's just, this is why I get stuck, like not being able to do too much. Cause like, well, I have the other kids, but then that one, she's 2, so she doesn't go to school. So when she's not going to school, it's harder when I have the other ones not going to school. But at least when they're in school, then I only have her. But she is so hyper, and she's like. And then like my wife, she does tattoos for a living, so she's not always here, but yeah. So it's yeah, well, it's a busy life. Definition 2 Celsius from Fahrenheit. This is okay. Test. So then you have these numbers. These get ejected in a test. Round 2. So all I gotta do is put the problem for Celsius, which is this, here, and then put return results. Prints F for degrees is, and C, okay, F is, okay, wait. So it's got F here. The C is a different integer. Okay, so that'll be a separate one. So then it'll say round. Where else is round? 2 Celsius. There's the 2 Celsius up there. Yeah, it's double highlighted. Okay. Oh, is this a variable that already has a meaning? Round? Oh. So it doesn't make it it makes it an integer, not a, what do they call it again? I can't even remember, a float. Okay, so, and then the F is there, okay. And 2, I don't know why the 2. Alright, so I got this figured out. So I'll just put result. results equals, oh, wait, equals pretty simple enough. And then return results. I think that should work. No, it didn't. Return outside function. Yeah. Okay, see, I was seeing that. Hold on. How do I get it inside the function? There. That was weird. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's it. Yep, because it takes the Celsius, gets pitched from over here. 2 Celsius, 2 Celsius. So 2 Celsius F. Where does it pull the number? Okay, so test. This number gets ejected here. Then it goes here. And then from there, it goes into this equation. So you're able to determine what it is in Celsius. I still don't know what's with the comma 2, though. And then it does say round. But the Celsius numbers do not look rounded off. Is that really correct? Oh, I guess so. I thought it was trying to round these numbers off, though. So I'm kind of surprised they're decimals. And I don't really understand the 2. Like, why is the 2 here? Is it additionally? I don't know. It's just comma 2. I don't really see equals that. I don't know. Not sure about that one, but that's just, this part's confusing me. Okay.
Boots interview. It's time for your first Boots interview lesson. In these lessons, Boots turns on you. He becomes your interviewer rather than your tutor. Answer his open-ended question or follow his instructions. The chat will continue until he's satisfied that your responses meet the acceptance criteria. Treat it like a real interview. You're allowed to ask clarifying questions without penalty. It's actually encouraged. You don't have to answer in one shot. Have a back and forth conversation. Boots will respond in one of 3 ways. If you ask a question or give a partially correct or inconclusive answer, there's no penalty, and Boots will ask a follow-up question or clarify the instructions. If you say something that's wrong or off topic, you'll lose an armor spree, and Boots will try to redirect you. Once you satisfy the acceptance criteria, Boots will pass you assignment. Reference the following code snippet to answer Boots's question.
Okay. The calculate damage function is called 3 times in the example, which variables store the results. Calculate damage. This is gonna be weird. I don't know. It says I'm supposed to chat with them. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Okay. Calculate damage function is called 3 times in the example, which variables store the results. So first damage, second damage, third damage, all use calculate damage. Which variables store the results? I mean, I guess it would be those ones, right? Because definite calculate damage. Okay. The calculate damage is that, I forgot what they called that. The def variable thing, the whole string. I already forgot what it's called. Opening tag, core damage. Return total. Okay. The calculate damage function is called 3 times the next example, which variables store the results. I mean, I guess. Oh, wait. Burst damage. Which variables? Store the results. I don't know. I got it right. I was like, I mean, I think that's what he's trying to say, but I'm not positive. First damage, second damage, store the results using the damage. Yeah, I found out that the first call to calculates. Stores the results, yeah. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if he was going to take that or not. Okay, I just...
Solutions. Okay, I just need to tell you about one last resource you have when you're stuck. Every lesson on boot.dev has an instructor solution that you can view. Like Boots,
Oh, the solutions.
solutions come at a cost. A steeper one, in fact. If you view a solution before you complete the lesson, you'll lose all the XP for that lesson. Well, unless you use a seer stone, in which case you won't lose any XP. Though you will be down a seer stone. Just like it's free to use Boots after a lesson is complete, viewing a solution after you've completed the lesson is free as well. In fact, we encourage you to frequently check your work against ours. Oftentimes, there's something to learn from the differences. View solutions sparingly. If you find yourself using the solution before completion, more than about once per chapter, you should consider slowing down, asking for help in the Discord, and even resetting lessons and trying them again to build a stronger foundation. Assignment. Enough about solution mechanics. Let's write more code. We need to display the current time to our players. The problem is that the time is stored as a number of hours, but we want to display it as a number of seconds. There are 60 seconds in a minute, but how many are in an hour? Complete the hours to seconds function. It should convert hours to seconds and return the result.
Okay. So, hours a seconds. How many hours are in a second? Yeah, so all I need to do is calculate. Really? Is that... Does it want me to show the solution? Or I guess it was just explaining. Okay, well, I got this. I mean, I just need to do the math for hours to seconds. Well, what's the math for hours to seconds? It's like 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes. That's 60 times 60 times that number. So let's do results equals hours times 60. Right. And then that times 60. Dang it. Okay. I should multiply both of them. Ah, no. It didn't work. Okay. thought it was more like math. Let's try that. Alright. So it should be hours times 60 and then times 60 again, because it's you take the number times 60, that turns into minutes. And then you got times 60 again to turn it into seconds. So I should be right. Yep. Probably different ways you could have done that, but that's the way I did it. Okay.
None return. When no return value is specified in a function, it will automatically return none. For example, maybe it's a function that prints some text to the console, but doesn't explicitly return a value. The following code snippets all return the same value, none.
What? When no return value is specified in a function, it will automatically return none. For example, maybe it's a function that prints some text to the console but doesn't explicitly return a value. The following code snippets all returns the same value, none. Why would you do that, though? I do nothing. It prints I do nothing, and then it does nothing. But it doesn't even say that it does nothing. So, why would you do that? I don't know. What happens if there is no return line in the function? Oh, wait, what? No return value specified in the function at all. Oh, okay, so these are basically this, and they're all the same thing, because if you put return and you don't put anything, then it means none. If you do this, return none, then it means none. If you don't put return at all, then it means none. It's all the same crap. Okay. It returns no values and attempt to capture a return value will result in errors. It returns to, yeah, I think that's, yeah, it just returns none. Okay, next question. What's the difference between printing a value and returning it? They are not the same. Print shows value in the console. Return makes a value available to the caller of the function and shows it in the console. I think that was right. Shows the value in the console, makes a value available to the caller of the function. No, because return returns the results of the function. Yeah, makes a value available to the caller of the, yeah, because that's that one I'm telling. It's not, oh my god, okay. I messed up. Makes a value available to the caller of the function and shows it to the console. Shows a value in the print, makes a value available to the caller of the function. Shows a value in the console. Shows a value in the console, makes a value available to the caller of the function. Okay, what's the difference between this one and this one? And shows it on the console? I mean, it could. If you ordered it to. I guess I was just being extra.
Multiple return values. A function can return more than one value by separating them with commas. Receiving multiple values. When calling a function that returns multiple values, you can assign them to multiple variables. When cast ice blast is called, it returns two values. The first value is assigned to damage, and the second value is assigned to mana. Just like function inputs, it's the order of the values that matters, not the variable names.
No.
We could just as easily have named the variables 1 and 2. Descriptive variable names make your code easier to understand, so name them rel. What happened to the variables? The damage and new mana variables from cast ice blast's function body only exist inside of the function. They can't be used outside of the function. More on that later when we talk about scope. Assignment. Complete the become warrior function. It accepts two inputs. The full name string, the power integer. It should return two values, a title string, a new power integer. Create the title using F strings. Combine full name with the warrior in this format. Warning, be very careful with the output of your program. The text will need to match the expected results exactly. Double check your spacing and spelling. Create the new power value that is equal to the input power plus 1. Return both title and new power. Here's an example of how the function is intended to work.
Okay. Hey, Aang Airbender, what? Let's talk about Avatar. Okay. Title equals become order. Aang Airbender, the warrior. Let's see. Receiving multiple variables, damage mana. 5 and 100. Times 2. Yeah, it's getting more complicating. There's definitely becoming more steps. I just have to think about it longer. Like each time I learn something, it's like it's taking more, like a bigger scope. Cause like I'm understanding it. The last part, I'm still trying to understand this one though. Cause I know how like when you do a def function, all this only exists within the function. The only thing is you can use this to inputs the values of these two things. Return damage, new mana. Yeah, because there's multiple return values now. So you can do like two functions under. You can do two under one function. The damage and new mana. Because you lose mana, and yeah, it's like two things happening at once. But because of the same effect. When calling a function that returns multiple values, you can assign them to multiple variables. So this makes sense how this would take that, because your damage is going to be stronger with the, and then you're also going to have a new mana amount because of that. But when calling a function that returns multiple values, you can assign them to multiple variables. So you have damage and your mana from up here equals cast Ice Blast. 5 on 100. So it would be 5 in the wizard level, 100 in the mana. Then print F damage equals. So you can see how much damage you created and you can see your remaining mana. And that this will use this to create two variables down here. 1, 2, 5 and 100. 1, 2. Oh, it's the same thing, just different. They worded it differently. Because if you just put 1 and 2, it doesn't really. It's harder to understand what these meanings are if you don't put actual meanings here for them. Okay, let's take a look at this. Don't edit below this line. So what I need to do, see, complete the become aware function. It accepts two inputs: the full name string, the power integer. Okay, what? 19. Let's see. Lay out your full name power. Where's this? There's nowhere else. Okay, so you had this one, input 1, input 2, okay. Where's input 1? think what it's wanting me to do. Let's see. Complete DB. I need to complete this function. It accepts two inputs, the full name string, the power integer. It should return two variables, a title string and a new power integer. Creates a title using f strings, combine full name with the warrior. Okay, so I need to do an f string. Let's see if I can figure this out. This is a little complicating. I'm gonna have to do a string and then also solve for a power integer. Let's see. Oh, wait. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do title equals, and then I'm also gonna need to do a new power. And then, so now I have to find a way. Okay, so full name. Okay, so it wants me to create a full name string. So this gonna have full name in here, but I need to figure out how I'm about to do this, honestly. Okay, so full name's gonna be in here with the F string. They want his full name: Frodo Baggins, Bilbo Baggins, Gandalf the Grey. Test. And then they have the numbers. Okay, so these get ejected into this. Differently result. Become warrior. Then presents results 1. That's power level of, okay. Let's see. It's saying to use the F string for title, but I don't fully understand why. Input 1, input 2. So these go here and then go there. Okay, let's see. The input 2. Okay, let's do new power equals power. I'm gonna need to Wait. I don't have to do any math though. That's just the what? Am I? But it says integer. A full name string. The power integer should return two variables: a title string, a new power integer. What? Okay, let's do. Oh, why did I put an F in? Why did I think that it wanted me to do F string? Here's an example of how the function is intended to work. I don't think I did it the right way. Print total print power. I think I did it differently than they were wanting me to do it though. It was title and power. I mean, is that it? Nope. Okay. So, I'm a little confused. Huh. Cover that with your programming text. The power integer. I see integer. Full name string. Yeah, and that brings that string over. A title string. A new parameter. Create a title using F strings. Combine full name with the combine full name. Hold on. Oh, damn it. Full name with the warrior. Oh. Still no? Oh, dang it. Okay. Hold on. Create the title using F strings. Combine full name with the warrior in this format. I might not have to do it like that. Oh man, I'm messing up. Full name. I don't think the plus works like that though. String NB. F is not defined. I still don't know if that's exactly what they want. Combine full name with the warrior in this format. Create a new power variable that is equal to the input power plus. Oh, input power plus 1. Oh, crap. Plus 1. I'm not reading all this. Return both title and new power. Okay. Oh my god, that was it. Jesus. That took me forever. Holy crap. Oh my god. I figured it out. I don't even think I did this the right way because it wanted me to do an F string. But it's not doing the F thing correctly. Let's see. It's like... Oh, that's why. The F goes on the inside? Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Okay, so the F actually goes like this, and then this, and then I would take away that, and then do this, and then this, and then run it. Yep. Oh my god. Okay, that's the correct, that's what they were wanting me to do. I kept putting the F on the outside, I don't know why. That's the correct way to do it. Oof, that took a minute, Jesus. Okay.
Parameters versus arguments. Parameters are the names used for inputs when defining a function. Arguments are the values of the inputs supplied when a function is called. To reiterate, arguments are the actual values that go into the function, such as 42.0, the Dark Knight, or true. Parameters are the names we use in the function definition to refer to those values, which at the time of writing the function can be whatever we like. That said, this is all semantics, and frankly, developers are really lazy with these definitions. You'll often hear the words arguments and parameters used interchangeably.
Weird. Arguments and parameters, huh? Names used for inputs when defining a function. Parameters. I mean, that makes sense. Arguments are the values of the inputs supplied when a function is called. Blank are the values that are passed on into the function by the caller. Arguments? Parameters are what defines a function. Arguments are the values when supplied by the function. Well, I guess it's arguments, right? Yeah. So parameters before and arguments are after. That's what it sounds like. The function is by the function definition. Yep. The parameters. It's like before and after. Arguments are like when you're returning it, and parameters are what defines it. Arguments are when the function is called. Values of the inputs to the function is called. God dang, dude, this is freaking wild. Okay. Yep. Before and after. Parameters, arguments. I don't know if I'm going to remember those words. I'm probably going to remember those words, but remembering what they mean is going to be another story. In Python, you can... Okay. I don't know why I keep reading.
Default values. In Python, you can specify a default value for a function parameter. It's nice that when a function has parameters that are optional, you as the function definer can specify a specific default value in case the caller doesn't provide one. A default value is created by using the assignment equals operator in the function signature. If the second parameter is omitted, the default there value will be used in its place. As you may have guessed, for this structure to work...
Wait, what? Hold on.
Default values. In Python, you can specify a default value for a function parameter. It's nice that when a function has parameters that are optional.
What? Okay, default.
as the function definer, can specify a specific default value in case the caller doesn't provide one. A default value is created by using the assignment equals operator in the function signature. If the second parameter is omitted, the default there value will be used in its place. As you may have guessed, for this structure to work, optional parameters, the ones with defaults, must come after all required parameters. Assignment. Complete the getPunched and getSlashed functions. They both take two integers as arguments, health and armor. Complete the getPunched function. 1. Change the armor parameter.
Okay, hold up. Default values are what happens when you take a value and put an equal sign on the variable in the function when you attach it to the variable. So, define good grading is email and name. What's it equal? Wait. Is it saying so if there's not a variable input on the second one, then instead of putting it there, it will automatically replace it with a default one there. So if you don't, okay, so like you say, you put your email and your name. If you put your email, it'll say your name. It'll put your email there. I mean, I guess you have to put your email. And if you put your name, it'll say hello, and it'll say your name, welcome. And if you don't put your name, then it'll say hello there as the default welcome. Oh, so it gives them an option to choose. If there's not an input, then it replaces it with an input. Okay, with a default input. Okay. If the second parameter is omitted, the default there will be put in its place. As you may have guessed, for the structure to work, optional parameters, the ones with defaults, must come after all required parameters. I don't know if that means you can put multiple ones, but I get what you're saying now. So, complete the getPunched function is right here. Okay. Change the armor parameter to have a default value of 0. 10.4. Okay. Damage variable. Create a damage variable equal to 50 minus the armor. Damage variable. Oh, you're talking about for the health. The armor reduces the damage. Create a damage variable equal to equal to 50 minus armor. Okay. Create a new health variable equal to the input. Okay. Equal to the input of health minus damage. We apply the damage. Does this? Okay. Now return new health. Alright, so armor will default at 0. And then you have damage equals 50. Take away armor. New health equals health. Take away damage, so wherever the damage is here. It turns into health, and that's new health. Where do we get the damage from? I don't have anything for damage, though. I mean, I guess that's... I don't need all that, but... Here's test 405. Oh, 405 for armor. Health after punch. Alright, so now let's try this one. Change armor parameter to have default value 0. Alright. Damage, create a damage variable equal to 100 minus armor, new health equals minus damage. Okay. Now we're gonna return new health. Oh, okay. Armor, no armor. So they already created a code to where if the armor is equal to 0, then it says no armor. Yeah, this takes the armor down to 1, armor 5. Oh man, that is interesting. So damage 50, take away armor, new health equals health, take away damage. And damage is equal to, so you have 50 armor is what it's saying. It's going, it's going. I'm getting a little bit slower, but it's still going. It was definitely a lot faster and easier earlier. This is, I don't know. I like the way they do this where it's like related to the video games because it like is far more entertaining this way. It was really cool though. I definitely dig this. It's like entertaining. There you go. Restroom. to working my brain muscles. I just did the last one, but I haven't started this one. This is that last one I did. I don't know which one you're watching on. I know I got it like double doing it to where it's like the streams on full screen and vertical, which I don't even know how that looks on the other end of things, but this is how I ran this one. And the results are at the bottom. All I had to do was change I had to create the definitions up here for these functions, and then they also wanted me to utilize the default value to where if there's not a value input, then it takes the default value input of 0, and if it equals 0, then they got it down here to where you either have an armor value, and if you don't have an armor value, then it says you have no armor. So if you look down here, whenever it does equal the value of 0, then it'll say no armor down here, and then it says health 200, and then health after slash 100, or up here it'll say health 400 because they use these numbers to start it with. It's a lot of tracing around, but it's cool. I don't know. It's like it takes a lot of staring and thinking, but when you get to it, it's really freaking cool. Well, I mean, and like, see, I've never messed with stuff like this, like coding stuff, but like when I was on the rig, I had to deal with like a lot of numbers and stuff, and remembering like different names for different equipments and different like, I don't know. I know like a lot of like engineering, mechanical kind of stuff, but like coding is definitely a totally different field for me, so. Whoever is here, show yourself. No, no, it's just me. My wife's in the living room watching the baby. I had to go to the bathroom though. Here's the next one. I don't know how far I can go with this. I'm wondering if it's like at the end of these little circles I got up here. An enemy's weapon can be cursed. So I don't know.
Curse. An enemy's weapons can be cursed so that they don't deal as much damage. Assignment. Complete the curse function. It accepts a weapon damage parameter and returns 2 values. The lesser cursed damage. Reduce the input weapon damage from 100% to 50%. 50% reduction. The greater cursed damage. Reduce the input weapon damage from 100% to 25%. 75% reduction. A greater curse is more powerful than a lesser curse, so it reduces the damage more. Tip. You can multiply a number by a decimal to get a percentage of a number. For example, 30% of 50 is 50 times 0.3. Ignore the float function in the print statements. We will introduce floats later.
Okay.
Dot.
Alright, so it's giving me a little bit lesser stuff to think of doing and making me figure it out myself. So this is really cool. Okay, so there'll be a lesser. Hold on. Yeah, lesser curse damage. Okay. Don't know if I put this line. There's the it's curse. Where's curse? Oh, there. Curse. So these are going to be the different weapon damages. 100, 500, 1000 goes into weapon damage. Said ignore float. Dude, this is, he said just ignore the float function in the print statements. Okay. Let's see. With lesser curse damage is float lesser cursed damage. Okay. So this is what I'm going to have to do. Because see, it's one to use these values, which I'm going to have to create those. So lesser cursed equals weapon damage times, what did it say? Lesser curse, reduce the weapon and punch damage from 100% to, so it's 50% reduction, so 0.5. Alright, and then the greater cursed damage weapon damage times
That'll at least guarantee you job security.
75. Let's see if that works. Well, if a weapon's base damage is 100, then the lesser curse damage is 50 damage. With greater curse damage is 75 damage. Weapons base damage is 500. Cursing with lesser curse damage is 250. Yep.
Are you making gaming coding?
Well, it's just coding, but because it's the boot.dev, they make it like sound all
It's
gaming stuff.
amazing.
It's like a way to teach you everything, but keep you interested.
You totally would.
Yeah, it's awesome.
amazing.
Oh, they said hi.
Hi.
I think I played like Rocket League with them or something. I don't remember. But, they get on here. They always at least pop in and say hi every once in a while.
That's awesome.
They said they did coding for like a year.
Oh, that's cool.
So.
Might want to consider go back into it, man. With all this AI everything. Shoot.
Oh crap! I got it wrong.
Oh no.
I don't know. I thought I got it right. Wait, what did I do wrong? Did I do the numbers wrong? 30% of 50 is 50. Okay, yeah. Lesser curse is a 50 reduction.
I changed the comment mode to where not everybody and anyone can comment on my thing. There's a bunch of trolls blowing up my page.
Oh crap. Wait. I think I did that backwards.
Alright, I'm about to go get ready. Go
There.
get
That's what I did.
Cora. Did you fix it?
Huh, yeah.
Aha.
Yeah. Because it's a 75% reduction, but I wasn't supposed to times it by 75 because that would give it a bigger number. I was supposed to times it by 25 because it's losing 75%.
Oh.
So I was getting the math.
How's the glasses helping you?
Well, I hope a little bit. She fall asleep.
She is falling asleep. She would make me fall asleep.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I don't know. I'm just doing the free stuff now. I don't know how long it lets me do this, but I like it.
My Steven's going on there and commenting under every comment too.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't checked it.
Nah, it's okay. I put it to where not everybody and anyone can comment on it, just friends and immediate followers.
Yeah.
Just because you got too many trolls, you got a lot of people that are just like, yeah.
I'm starting to get a little.
Well, it's just redundant and aggressive. People are trying to victim shame and try to gaslight, and that energy gets so old so quick. Like, I could sit there and argue with knuckle draggers all day, but I mean, they're mouth breathers. That's all they are. So it's kind of pointless. It just wasted part of my day.
It's like pissing in the
I'm not gonna not make it public, dude. Try to run us off the road, and I don't need to say anything else. It's unexcusable behavior. You could say, "Oh, you need to talk to your kid." Well, that's a whole ass adult, you know. That adult should try not to do vehicle, you know.
Yeah, that's why I said that. I was like, either way.
that's a like where she.
Did you see what I commented to that other dude?
But I mean, it's just a bunch of
I was like, if we all had that same mentality, we'd all have a fucking death warrant, dude.
Yeah, like, and because like I put it on there that he tried to wreck us the first time, so of course her reaction, because it's on her side, is to flip him off.
Yeah.
So his reaction is to not only follow us, tailgate us, and then we evade him enough to where we legally go the speed limit, everything, not endangering other people, but you're still siding with a Toyota Tacoma at that. It's not even a GM motor.
And I like
Tundra, whatever. Like, I like Toyotas, but it's not even that big of a... They're mad because it's an Amazon delivery driver. But, I mean, where he messed up is he shouldn't have had his vehicle plastered with his job and then try to run us into the guardrail.
All that is people get road rage, and they know they get road rage, so they feel like
they're justified.
Yeah, but
that's not justification. You telling him.
I mean, but if someone did it to them, then they'd be bitching and complaining about it
and flipping people off.
Yeah.
You're telling me that a teenager needs to control her middle finger after she got almost crashed into, but it excuses his behavior to almost run into two other vehicles to try to hit us.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry, I'm distracting you. I was gonna let you know I'm gonna go pick up Cora now. So
okay.
I'm gonna make sure she's asleep before I do. My keys are in here.
All right.
Love you.
I love you too.
But yeah, no, it's inexcusable behavior, and I'm tired of arguing with knuckle draggers.
Yeah, all I'm gonna do is just talk crap.
Because they got a life.
Yeah,
They're
just
going
bored.
on someone they don't even know.
Yeah, people just get bored. That happens.
The training grounds. This lesson has nothing to do with Python. I just want to show you a resource you have at your disposal for practicing your skills. The training grounds, training in the top nav, is where you can practice infinite coding challenges and interview questions. Our courses don't repeat themselves very often. Our expectation is that once you learn a concept and complete its lesson, you're ready to move to the next concept. If you find yourself wanting more practice before moving on, you can head over to the training grounds at any time and grind some challenges. Challenges in the training grounds are personalized to you and what you've been working on recently. But you can also search the existing database of challenges to find specific topics. If you're not a paying member, you've been awarded 25 free challenges. Once you upgrade to a paid membership, you'll have unlimited challenges.
You can also search the existing database of challenges to find specific topics. Oh, okay. Okay, so Training Ground has challenges, but because I'm not paying, I only get 25 free, so I should save them, honestly. The Training Grounds are favorite fishing spot, place to practice. Oh. That's pretty neat.
Enchant and attack. In Fantasy Quest, a weapon can be enchanted to do bonus damage. Assignment. Complete the enchant and attack function. It creates a new enchanted name for a weapon and calculates how much damage the enchanted weapon will deal to a targeted enemy. It accepts 3 parameters: target health, integer; damage, integer; weapon, string. It should do the following things in the function body. Calculate and store the enchanted damage in a new variable. The enchanted damage should be the input damage plus 10. Calculate and store the new health in a new variable. The new health should be the input target health minus the enchanted damage. Create a new variable called enchanted weapon. It should be the input weapon with the string enchanted added to the beginning of it. For example, 1. Sword, enchanted sword. 2. Axe, enchanted axe. Return the enchanted weapon and the new health in that order.
Alright. Start with there's 3 parameters, so I think I'm gonna have to do all these 3. Calculate and store the enchanted damage in a new variable. Okay, let's do this. Enchanted damage. Alright. Should be the input of damage plus 10. Okay. And then calculate and store new health. Minus. Okay. And then create a new variable called enchanted weapon. Doubling up an accident. Okay. Crap. Weapon. Oh, add it to the beginning. Like, god dang it. Okay. So it's damage, but enchant, and attack. It's the code that was created down here. Well, these are all the numbers that they use. Sword, axe, bow. And this is basically taking these sword, axe, and bow. It's the target health and damage. Turning them enchanted by. So your target has 100 health. Sword base damage 50. Enchanting and attacking. The target has been attacked with the enchanted sword. The target has 40 health remaining. So enchanted weapons add 10 more damage, basically. That's what they're saying. Which role is the... Oh.
Archmage, congratulations on making it to the end of the functions chapter. This is one of the hardest chapters in the Python course. Although dictionaries are no walk in the park either. You've probably already figured out that chests contain gems and items. Gems can buy items in the shop. Items help you earn achievements and XP. XP levels you up, and higher levels unlock new roles. So why should you care about your role? You've probably almost earned, or maybe you already have, the apprentice role. You can see your role at the top right of your screen. If you don't have a role yet, don't worry. You'll get apprentice at level 10. When you hit level 100, you'll unlock the final role, Archmage. It's kind of a big deal. When you hit Archmage, you'll have learned a ton, built many real-world projects, and should be starting your job search. You'll have unlocked all the private role-based chat channels in our Discord. You'll get a physical Archmage coin in the mail as a token of your hard work.
What? That's cool. That's a trip. You are in guest mode. What you can do in guest mode, read lessons, watch the videos. What you cannot do in guest mode, run your code, submit your answers, save your progress, view solutions, get help from boots, take quizzes, unlock achievements. I mean, I guess I'll continue in guest mode. I can't do anything, huh? Nope. Oh, well. I get to read stuff. But I already have Python. I wonder... Let's see. This don't look like the Python I used to have. I already had this. thought I had a different Python app. I don't think I was using this. Huh. Huh? Whoever is here, show yourself. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're asking. Some There's a second person in chat. Oh, there is? I can't tell. You tripping me out. I was wondering what you were talking about. Well, I'm in guest mode now, so I can like read this stuff, but I can't do anything with it. But I'm like, how do I put this in actual like Python stuff? Like, that's what I don't understand. Can I do anything with Python? Like, I don't even know. Hmm. This is crazy. I don't even know. Here's a list of Python keywords. Hmm. I mean, I guess I can't just put this in here and make it do anything, can I? think I can do it on here. Huh. Hold up. I guess I can't delete it. Okay. So, right. Max health equals get max health modifier level. Okay. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but I'm going to try this out. Okay, so I entered all this in, and then after print health, it goes traceback most recent call list, file 0, line 10, and module. Max health, get max health modifier. Okay, so let's try this. I'm gonna see if this will work. Oh, I don't have the auto reader anymore either, so now I actually oh wait, no, it's a video.
Now, once you understand that a function is basically just an easily reused block of code, the next most important thing is to understand function scope, or more generally, just how scope works in Python. See, variables can't always be used anywhere within the context of a large program. They're only available within their scope. And when a code base gets to be millions and millions of lines long, you're really thankful for scope, because you don't want to accidentally be reusing the same variable names all over the place. So let's start with what you probably already know, the global scope. Take a look at this code, x equals 5. This code is fully dedented to the left. It's not within the context of a function, so it exists in the global scope. And that means it's going to be available anywhere within this file. Now, it gets trickier because every time you define a new function, take a look at this one, do some math, that function gets its own little scope. In the variables a and b, the parameters, they'll only be available within the context of that function, right? The indented block. Same with the value c. Because we declared it within the scope of that function, it's only available within that function. Now, we can call do some math, pass in 1 and 2, and we expect to get the result of 6, and that does work. What we can't do is try to access the variable c outside of the function definition. We'll get this nasty error. We also cannot access the arguments of the function, a and b, again, outside of the function declaration. They're only available within the body of the function. So we can't access variables that are within a function scope outside of the function, but can it go the other way around? And it turns out it can, because the global scope is a parent scope of any functions declared within it. So if we move c outside of the function, set it equal to 3 right before the function's defined, we actually can still use c within the function. And then again, we can call do some math with 1 and 2, and we'll get back 6. So remember, scope works down, but not up. Child scopes inherit values or access to values from their parents. Now, once you understand that a function is basically just an easily reused block of code, the next most important thing is to understand function scope, or more generally, just how scope works in Python. See, variables can't always be used anywhere within the context of a large program. They're only available within their scope. And when a code base gets to be millions and millions of lines long, you're really thankful for scope, because you don't want to accidentally be reusing the same variable names all over the place. So let's start with what you probably already know, the global scope. Take a look at this code, x equals 5. This code is fully dedented to the left. It's not within the context of a function, so it exists in the global scope. And that means it's going to be available anywhere within this file. Now, it gets trickier because every time you define a new function, take a look at this one, do some math, that function gets its own little scope. In the variables a and b, the parameters, they'll only be available within the context of that function, right? The indented block. Same with the value c. Because we declared it within the scope of that function, it's only available within that function. Now, we can call do some math, pass in 1 and 2, and we expect to get the result of 6, and that does work. What we can't do is try to access the variable c outside of the function definition. We'll get this nasty error. We also cannot access the arguments of the function, a and b, again, outside of the function declaration. They're only available within the body of the function. So we can't access variables that are within a function scope outside of the function, but can it go the other way around? And it turns out it can, because the global scope is a parent scope of any functions declared within it. So if we move C outside of the function, set it equal to 3 right before the function's defined, we actually can still use C within the function. And then again, we can call do some math with 1 and 2, and we'll get back 6. So remember, scope works down, but not up. Child scopes inherit values or access to values from their parent scopes, but not the other way around.
All right. So there is an error in line 10. We're using variable names for the wrong scope. Fix it. Okay. All right. So we're looking at 10, which is this one. All right. So definition. Get max health modifier level. And it's not getting a return because modifier. No. Did you mean my modifier? Oh, because my modifier is the only one with a value. So. Okay, let's look at this. Modifier level has a return of modifier times level. Hello?
Hey, just to let you know, she was still awake when I left. I picked up Cora with you. I picked up Cora. We're headed to go get sushi, but she gets out early today.
Okay.
And Dion already got the They were too far to drive.
Alright.
So everyone is about to pick up a pizza and play. I put the SIM card in it.
Okay.
Everything's recorded and everything's right. I will be back.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just still doing the coding stuff.
Alright, I'll let you focus. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Okay, so the problem is, but what is it? It wants to print max health, what the max health is. So this is max health. Get max health modifier level. Return modifier. Well, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that it's meaning that this is supposed to be my modifier and my level. But then how would that... Oh, because get max health, because that would pull those up there and then return. Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do. I mean, it doesn't matter what they... Hold on. So this is probably what they're trying to do, really, is just put my modifier and my level. Max health is 50. Yep, because 5, the modifier times the level is 10, so it'd be 50. Max health is 50. See, that works. I could have swore I had like a different thing for this. I mean, this is fine, I guess, but change color tab, rename tab, yeah, so that works. Let's see. Yeah, this is what I was messing with for. I think this is a Visual Studio Code. But I don't think this works the same way. This creates like a different kind of file or something. I don't even know. See, I don't remember how to use this thing. Select the language. Python. Okay, and then if I do this, maybe. Name error, name modifier is not defined. Okay, hold on. I think I can actually use this to do it. Instead of that ugly normal Python. Okay, so then what I would do is turn this into my modifier. Oh. And then my level. Okay. And then okay. How do I rerun it? Is there a way to run it now? Oh yeah. Run. Oh, max health is 50. Oh. Ooh, okay, and then over here it even shows where I'm pulling these from. Man, I might be able to do this like this. This is kind of cool. I like the way this gives me the colors and stuff. Yeah, look, the same way. Exact same setup. Ooh, man. I'm just saying. Alright, now what do we got? Let's see. Screw that one. I'll just use Visual Studio Code. Hopefully someone doesn't get they find out I'm doing it like this. They're like, no, sir, it's cheating. Alright. Go ahead and run this bad boy. Let's see. Max health is 50. Player level name is not determined. What? I guess. I don't know. You've been doing some problems. Player level is not defined. Let's see. This is on title 1. Yeah, it's talking about this. Okay. I just want to make sure I got this right. What is that? Restart? Restart, yeah. There it goes. Okay, so now I can do that. So I can pull up the errors. This is player level is not defined. Line 7 and calculate health. Return player level modify. Okay. That is not defined. Line 14 was. And then there's another problem. Okay. Alright, let me take a look at this. I know, I don't think they meant for me to be able to do it like this, but I just like, I don't want to pay for the whole class. Maybe not right now, but if I can do it on my own, then that'd be cool. Huh? Yeah, I could play Rocket League. Well, we could play it right now for a little bit if you want. I've been doing this for a whole minute, so I don't mind taking a little break. I don't know if you got time to play right now. I gotta check on the baby real quick. And she's taking a nap, but I gotta make sure she's just chilling. Oh my god, she's wide awake, but she's watching TV. This is crazy. Okay. Yeah, I'll go and switch to Rocket League. This is fun. I'm digging this. Look, so I downloaded this a while back. This is Visual Studio, and this makes Python look like how they're got it right here with like separating the colors with the like variables and integers and all that, so it's easier to read. And then it even has debugging issues. It literally works the same as what they're running. Hopefully they don't get mad at me for doing that, but whatever. I mean, I'm sure they know that there are probably people that can... I'm sure they know that people can do that, so... But, I mean, if you're not paying for it, then, I mean, you probably don't get no sort of certificate or anything. And you don't get to take tests, so you don't get any proof that you're learning anything. So then you have to pay for it. I was like, I'd be down to pay for it if I knew I could get like an actual coding job out of it, but I was like, I don't want to pay for it if I, you know what I mean? Let's see. Oh yeah, I got banned. I don't even know how I got banned. I tried to fight it. I can't talk in Rocket League. I don't know what I did. I wasn't even playing that day, so I guess someone got mad at me. Here, I'm gonna change my stream to the Rocket League one.